So this is our ARG Presents Game of the Week. And I was doing some research on it today, and it just made me really want to play it, 'cause I love this game. So, for the uninitiated, this is your standard collect all the things affair or destroy all the monsters. But you can also make a Kix-like circle around the fruit and it will actually upgrade. Plus there's these guys. Oh shoot, messed that up. Yeah, I'm curious. Just gonna go kill myself. I believe that if you look at the dip switches here, yeah, I think that when I've played this before, I've always started out with 5 lives instead of 3 lives, and of course that makes a big difference. But I guess we'll just play with 3 lives. Oh! Thanks, Chris. Hold on a second. I don't know why it does that, but we'll fix it. Good night, UK Retro Gamer. Okay, so how... Let's try restarting it now. Okay, that's more like it. So the version of this game I'm used to playing, you get 5 lives, because why not? You've got 2 offensive weapons. You've got your ball, and you've got the logs. You're trying to spell extra. And the trick with spelling extra is if you hit the A in the back, all of the baddies in front of it will die automatically. So you wanna fire it just right. It's not too bad, actually. So just on the first board, getting the R and the A is pretty good. You know, that's not... Yeah, doing Amigos challenges, doing an Amigos challenge for an arcade title would certainly broaden our scope some. I'll have to... You know, that wouldn't be a bad thing to suggest on the Discord, Asifa. What game would you like to see a high score challenge on? Oh yeah, that would be really cool. I think Aaron is pretty good hand at Pac-Man. I think he knows some of the patterns even. I never played a lot of the original Pac-Man. I mostly played Ms. Pac-Man. Aaron's favorite Pac-Man is Super Pac-Man. He really likes that. Alright, I just need the X. Come on. That's the fastest I've ever gotten an extra life in this game. I love this cutscene. Well, it's got a certain charm, you know, Henrik. I wouldn't call it all bad. I wouldn't call it all good either, but you know. This is Do Run Run, the final game in the Mr. Do series. So I think what we'll do is we'll work backwards. I'll do a game of this, and then a game of Castle, Do's Castle, which is the third game in the series. And then a game in the... Oh, there's the diamond! You rarely get the diamond. I've only got it 3 times, like, ever. So you guys are very, very lucky to see that. That is very rare. Very rare. That's really cool, Pixels. I love the universal cabinets. They've got a really unique look to them. They were designed differently than lots of other cabinets from the time period. And they're just... I would love to have one. I'd actually love to have a universal multi-board that had Ladybug and the Do games. Couldn't really do it practically because Mr. Do's Castle is a vertical game. And so is Mr. Do, actually, I'm pretty sure. And Mr. Do's Wild Ride, the game that came out before this. Boy, I wish I had a log. That would be perfect. Those are horizontal games. Does anybody have any arcade systems in the chat? Anybody an arcade cabinet collector? I know a lot of times you guys overseas are not blessed with the amount of space that we have here in our houses in the States. Are you a builder of arcade machines, Dan? That's another thing too. I know that, you know, since the arcade scene was so big here in the States, I don't know how big it was everywhere else, and that would surely affect prices. That's cool. Were they originally were they conversions, or did you build them from the ground up? Come on, guys. Oh, shoot. That's cool. Do you know what they were originally? To me, it depends on the game, Marco. Oops. It's one thing to take sort of a common, not very good game, you know, and of course that's a very subjective statement, and put a multicade in it and kind of breathe new life into it. But I would hate for anybody to take either a rare game or a game that had, you know, specialized controls. Like, for example, if you took a Tron and took the joystick off it and put a couple Sanwa joysticks on it and you know, turned it into a, you know, a multicade, to me that's no good. I would not do that. My multicades have both been like the one that I have in the you can kind of see it. You can see it during Amigos episodes. That one was a 3-comb. It's just a generic cabinet, generic JAMA cabinet. You can put anything in it. It has Street Fighter 2 button layout. So that was a multicade, and then I also had another multicade that was a Double Dragon, and that one actually had, it still had the original CRT, and it just had a JAMA in an iPack, and so you could easily be restored to its former Double Dragon glory if that's what we wanted. So Oh boy. So as you progress through the game, obviously the enemies get a lot harder. Or not a lot harder, a lot faster. And I should have defeated that enemy for the points instead of getting the other thing. Yeah, like a Street Fighter 2 cabinet, like the world is not going to mourn the loss of a Street Fighter 2 cabinet if you do something custom with it. But I think in terms of looks, you know, I'm at the point now where a lot of the times I'm playing emulated games on the PC. I don't really use my MAME that much because whenever I play MAME, I'm usually streaming. But I still play my Mario Brothers machine, which is a dedicated machine, a lot, just because I like the way it looks. I like the way the joysticks feel. You know, there's a special feel for Nintendo joysticks. How much do those run, Henrik? Yeah, this is MAME. What I meant is that I rarely play on the cabinet that I have. I've got a MAME set up, a hyperspin set up in a cabinet in my Neo Geo cab, which is not really a Neo Geo cab. It's just painted to look that way. Here we go, extra number 2. The PC inside of it is not set up for it. It's a very, very old PC. It's a I don't even know what it is. It's older than a Core 2 Duo. It's one of those ultra cheap machines they used to put in HPs. Oh, I was looking at my score multiplier. I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, I figure that you might have to import one, and that would get expensive. Did Sweden have any homegrown arcade machines? No, it's not fully loaded up at all. I deliberately chose only the games that I liked, because Hyperspin can become kind of a pain if it's overloaded with crap. Like, it's hard to navigate. So I just put my very favorite games. There's probably about 100 games on there. Aaron and I have talked about that before. He's of the opposite mindset, where he wants all the games everywhere all the time. But for something like that, now on the Raspberry Pi, because it's got more of a text-based interface, at least the one that I have, it's easier to navigate, where you've got a lot of games on there. Yeah, that's Aaron. I'll go over there, and of course he uses GameX, and it's got an attract mode, and we'll be talking, and we'll just watch games, you know, cycle through on the attract mode, and it's pretty cool. He's got a nice setup over in Amigos Studios East. Come on. Nope. Cannot run the guys all the time. Oh. It's funny, Dan, that, you know, it used to be like 120 gigs. That's crazy. But now, like, there's Raspberry Pi builds. Like, Aaron just gave me a Raspberry Pi build, and it's 128 gigs that fits on an SD card. It's like, 120 gigs isn't what it used to be. But mine, I'm sure that mine, of course, you know, a big part of any Hyperspin build is the videos and all the themes and stuff like that. Many times, especially if you're more of a classic player like I am, those things are hundreds of times larger than the actual machine files. 149520. Let's save that. Do run 149520. All right, so now we'll step back in time a little bit further, and we'll play Mr. Do's Wild Ride. Wow, that's crazy, Chris. So this game is the Super Mario Brothers 2 of Mr. Do games, and that was originally called Go Go Coaster and had nothing to do with Mr. Do. And then they just, I guess they needed a new Mr. Do game, and put that in. This is more like Donkey Kong in that you're just trying to reach a goal. And oh shoot, this is my least favorite Mr. Do game, but it's my favorite. I don't know if it's my favorite. I like the Mr. Do's Castle marquee a lot too, but I like this marquee. I've got this marquee set up right behind me down here in Amigos Studios. Okay, come on. And I'm not sure if collecting all the fruit shoot gives you a bonus or not. I don't know. I don't know what the purpose of that is. Because the spelling extra is just dependent on your time. Come on. It's almost like an MC Escher painting in video game form. Oh my gosh. It's very frustrating. No, Castle is after this. Boy, I've got to be able to at least get past the first, or it's before this. We're going in reverse chronological order. So, this and Do Run Run came out in '84. We will not be playing the Neo Mr. Do on Neo Geo, because that game is an assault to God and man. It's a terrible. I think the art style is frightening and just awful. Whoa. Almost made it. They're actually a roller coaster. You're on a roller coaster, or I mean, you're on a roller coaster track, and those are the cars of the roller coaster. Yeah, it's. And then they add the added fun of the floating ghost pirate ship, you know, whatever that is. Yeah, don't look at the tanks or don't look at the cars. Look at the just follow Mr. Do. But this is, I mean, it's not a good game. It's not a good game at all. Yeah, I have no idea how you're supposed to get past that. Last guy. It's all or nothing. Ah. All right. That was Mr. Do's Wild Ride. Probably the low point. Definitely the low point in the Mr. Do series. But now let's do Aaron's favorite in the series. This is Mr. Do's Castle. Center it up a little bit here. And this kind of reminds me of a cross between, I don't know. I've always thought it was sort of like Kangaroo, or maybe a little bit of maybe like Lode Runner a little bit. Maybe more than a little like Lode Runner. I've got to remember how exactly to make this happen. I don't think that you need to get all the cherries. I think those are just points. You just have to get the keys that open the door. You can also use your hammer. I guess you gotta be at the, or I guess you just push it and you can push the ladders over, which is kind of neat. You could hammer the guys, but it doesn't really do much. It's only, you know, I haven't played Wrecking Crew before because it wouldn't work on my emulator. I tried to play it on a NES stream. I couldn't make it happen. So, oh boy, this, yeah. But Aaron and our buddy Chad, old Chad, as we like to call him, the guy that was on the BBS Insert Disc 2, they used to stay up all night and just play this over and over again, trying to beat each other's high scores. So Aaron's got a great affection for this game. Ugh. Got to at least beat the first stage. It's got a great, I like the music a lot. Yeah, there's definitely some Rodland. That's actually a great point. I'm not sure why I cannot leave the stage now. I've got all the keys. I don't think that the cherry thing is necessary. That's neat. Oh. Yeah, you're right. But when I approach it, I could not enter. So I don't know what I did wrong there. Maybe we'll... I need to get some more of the cherries? What about these death things? Maybe so. Let's just run it again and see. Or maybe you have to destroy all the enemies. You can tell I'm not an expert at this. Yeah, that's it. Right. That's right, Chris. I like how they keep the tropes of extra alive throughout the series. I don't like how they made it so hard to get. Now I gotta deal with these guys. I couldn't find a lot of information about why Universal went out of business. On Wikipedia, they say it was because of the video game crash, which is, I'm almost certain, is false, because the video game crash did not really affect Japan, and didn't really affect arcades either. So, and that's what Universal was primarily. Was they released like 50 arcade games, including a Laserdisc game. So, hey, it did pretty well. Got on the top of the charts. And finally, we'll take a look at the first game in the series, Mr. Do. It's another vertical game. And this is the most like Do Run Run, in that you're collecting things. However, there's a very strong element of Dig Dug in this. It's like Dig Dug with a different offensive weapon. Ooh! That was freaking fantastic right there. Well, they don't really have to be that exciting for watching. You know, we'll do a show on it no matter what, and sometimes sometimes that's a way that we get the chance to play games that we wouldn't normally play, because both Aaron and I are kind of action-oriented gamers. We like stuff like this if we're just picking stuff out, and like a game like Waxwork, you know, would not be something that we'd ever choose to play on our own, but we still love it because it's, you know, like Cruise for a Corpse is a perfect example. We would have never played that, but we both ended up really enjoying it. Yeah, there's a good port of this on the SNES, and it's one of the rarer games for the Super Nintendo. I never saw it. I've never seen it live and in person. If you're really good at this game, there's a way you can manipulate the apple drops to do really cool stuff. I'm not that great at this game, but... Wow. Would you say it's even more intense than Dune was? Huh, that's cool. I'll have to check that out. I love Kim Justice. Oh. Alright, so that is the Mr. Do series. And with that, I think we're going to go ahead and finish up this stream. I hope you've enjoyed going through the Mr. Do games. And a little bit of Amiga action on the top. And don't forget to tune in Friday evening at 5:30 Eastern for our live ARG Presents and live Amigos. We've got a bunch of awesome stuff planned, including we got a mailbag segment. Somebody has sent us something from Estonia, and we've got a winner from our last Patreon song competition. So don't miss it. All right, guys. Thank you, Marco, Hasifa, Pixels at Dawn, Henrik, Dan, if you're still there, for spending some time with me this evening. See you on Friday. Adios.